Good morning to those of you on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Good evening, Wan Shang Hao, Swazdi Tanyan, and Ang Yang Haseo to our 10 seniors, their families, and other guests in East Asia. Good day to others in between. This is, of course, our first virtual baccalaureate to conclude the school's 192nd academic year. I thank you for joining us today as we complete a challenging and forever memorable spring trimester through a new educational paradigm. Distance or remote learning required the school's talented educators to rapidly pivot to what I describe as the next normal, rather than a new normal, in content, delivery, and instruction. And our experiences in this next normal will continue to guide our thinking and preparations for the fall as we most certainly launch our 193rd year of schooling. My name is Lance Conrad, and I am the very proud head of school, and it is my privilege to welcome you to Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall's 2020 Baccalaureate Ceremony. In particular, I'd like to welcome our 42 members of the CH-CH class of 2020, their families and close friends, as well as the many faculty, staff, students, trustees, advisors, alumni, families, and friends joining us from all around the world this morning. Beginning in 1860 and throughout much of the 20th century, the pending graduates of Chapel Hill School, an all-girls school, gathered in the old stone chapel on campus to participate in a baccalaureate ceremony on the eve of their commencement from the well-respected all-girls school. It was very much a time-honored tradition that disappeared with the merger of Chapel Hill and Chauncey Hall in 1972. Chauncey Hall, on the other hand, an all-boys preparatory school, established in Boston's downtown crossing in 1828, held similar exercises for nearly 150 years, known as anniversary exhibitions. The exhibitions required graduates to spend 2 days before their commencement exercises displaying competencies in various subject areas, including English language, classics, mathematics, and even penmanship. Moreover, each graduate was required to participate on the second day's exercises and declamation, whereby all prospective graduates would, in essence, present senior speeches, 35 in total back then, beginning with the salutatory address and closing with the valedictory address. The distribution of medals and prizes would commence thereafter. While we will look forward to our salutatory and valedictory addresses during our highly anticipated summer commencement exercises for the class of 2020, currently slated for 10 a.m. on August 8th or August 15th, this morning's baccalaureate ceremony celebrates the academic and community achievements of our students, as well as one particular member of the faculty and staff. I thank you for joining us and hope you will salute several members of our student body for their well-earned accomplishments during the 2019-20 academic year. At this time, I would like to introduce this morning's senior class MC, as voted by his classmates, Mr. Dylan Gomes.
Thank you, Dr. Conrad. I'd now like to recognize each and every one of my classmates individually. Ariel Alexis. Haley Boki. Caroline Burke. Sydney Burke. Ann Shea. Zihan Chow. Samuel Donnellan. Zachary Gardner. Benjamin Gold. Dylan Gomes. Hannah Goodman. Benjamin Grazel. Joseph Henry. Joshua Hofstein, Shuai-Chi Huang, Jackson Ivy, Jasper Khan, Melody K, Haley Kyle, Maeve Kidd, Denisa Lata, Henry Levitt, Yachi Liu, Genchi Liu, Shiren Lo, Michaela Murdoch, Lauren Murphy, Sarah Murphy, Sophie Papashvili, Megan Reynes, Benjamin Rothman, Aiden Shengun, Fanita Sarawatanawang, Cameron Smith, Elena Smith, Jiahui Sun, Kyle Vieira, Alicia Walker, Jessica Ward, Simon Weiss, Nia Williams, Ruchi Jung.
Thank you, Dylan. Looks like someone is joining in on Zoom here. I did hear that a special celebrity friend of Dylan's may be stopping by to say hello today. Let's break over to our special guest.
Congratulations to the 2020 class of CH-CH. We are very proud of you. I'm very proud of you, and the community is very proud of you. This is from Dylan. Yes, Dylan Gomes. He is very proud of you. You kept learning throughout all of this pandemic, and you will keep on learning. This is going to teach you a lot in terms of perseverance, and you've even managed to do some community service while you were learning and trying to get your high school diplomas. Well, you know what? This was fantastic. This is going to help you in the future. And not only are you going to survive this, you're going to thrive. Did I stutter? I said you're going to thrive. And if you don't, I'm going to personally kick your butt. All right. Now, Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your time with your families, because once this is over, you're going to scatter to the winds in terms of going back to class and campuses all over the United States. So be safe, be well, enjoy yourselves. All righty. We'll talk soon. Bye. Go out there and do something good in the world.
Wow. What a special treat and message for our graduating class. Dylan, you've really pulled out all the stops for your classmates. Leslie David Baker from The Office. Whew, an instant classic, my friend. Well, listen, switching gears, I'd like to now introduce our assistant head of school, Josh Bubar. Mr. Bubar has the distinct honor to announce this year's salutatorians and valedictorian. Each of these students will gain the opportunity to deliver addresses at our August commencement exercises. Mr. Bubar.
Thank you, Dr. Conrad, and welcome everybody. I'm really honored to speak about 3 students today, and typically that wouldn't be the case, but this year we had an unusual situation. We had 2 students end their Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall careers with exactly the same grade point average, and thus both qualify to be the salutatorians. These 2 young scholars, while different in many dimensions, represent the very best values of academic drive and inquiry, and I'm proud of their efforts and the development they've shown over the past 4 years. Our first co-salutatorian, Benjamin Grazel, comes to us from Winchester, Massachusetts. Benjamin's academic promise was evident from the start as he participated in upper level classes, including calculus, beginning in his 9th grade year. He also pursued a number of college courses at Brandeis during his junior and senior year, ultimately earning several semesters of college credit over his final 2 years of high school. Benjamin's time at CH-CH, however, was not marked solely by academic achievement. Though he, by his own admission, would not have considered himself an athlete prior to arriving at CH-CH, Benjamin carved out an impressive role as a wrestler here at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall, including a trip to the National High School Tournament. In addition, he was a valuable contributor in other sports, such as cross country and soccer. Benjamin also served as an important member of our National Honor Society and student government during his time here on campus, and authored a research project about adolescent sleep patterns that has engendered significant conversations and changes in the daily schedule here at CH-CH. We're pleased that Benjamin will be attending Dartmouth College in the fall, and please join me in congratulating him on earning the honor of co-salutatorian and for his outstanding career here at CH-CH. Our second co-salutatorian, Harson Liu, comes to us from Beijing, China, and like Benjamin, has been with us since his 9th grade year. Harson's academic career at CH-CH is distinguished and marked by tremendous perseverance, the desire to continually improve, and a willingness to work closely with faculty to master the materials and skills required of him. Harson also demonstrated academic interests outside the CH-CH classroom, taking on an independent research project in economics in his junior year, while also independently studying for and earning highest marks on the advanced placement exams in both micro and macroeconomics. Even with all these achievements, Harson may be best known in our community for his skills as a pianist. Harson often played pieces for school events and served as an accompanist for other community members. And it was one of the great disappointments of this lost spring that Harson and his classmate Mint were unable to hold their benefit concert in our newly revamped Manque Theater. In getting to know Harson as his advisor this year, I've been impressed by his candor and willingness to engage in conversations about life here at CH-CH and in the greater world, as well as his understated sense of humor and sly wit. We're very pleased that Harson will be staying nearby to attend Babson College in the fall. Please join me in congratulating Harson on earning the honor of co-salutatorian and for his outstanding career here at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall. Lastly, I would like to speak about our valedictorian, who is recognized as having the highest GPA among all of her classmates in the graduating class of 2020. This year's valedictorian, Denisa Lata, comes to us from Hackensack, New Jersey, and like Harson and Benjamin, has been with us since 9th grade. Above and beyond her outstanding academic record, Denisa has distinguished herself at CH-CH with her eloquence and activism regarding a number of social issues. This activism has taken many forms during her time here, including leadership in our Students of Color Alliance, National Honor Society, and in our residential program. For me, however, Denisa's character became crystal clear one day early in her 9th grade year. On the day after the presidential elections in 2016, Denisa wore her hijab to school, and in that moment came out as a Muslim to many of her fellow friends, students, faculty, and staff. Her action elicited a wide range of reactions and responses from our community and provided us with an opportunity for growth and celebration. In an assembly later that afternoon, she announced to the community that she had worn her hijab that day as a protest against her country's decision to elect a man she saw as divisive and decidedly prejudiced towards Muslim Americans, provoking even more conversation and education. Her eloquence, poise, and purpose that day marked Denisa as someone with the will to speak her mind, the willingness to stand for equity and inclusion, and ultimately as someone who wanted to make a difference in the lives of others. She has done just that in her time here at CH-CH, and I have no doubt that she will have a tremendous impact on people and communities throughout her life, including in her next academic community, Barnard College in New York City, where Denisa will matriculate this fall. Please join me in congratulating the valedictorian of the class of 2020, Denisa Lata.
I would now like to introduce the faculty speaker. Every year, the senior class selects a faculty member to address the graduates. The class of 2020 has come together to choose someone who supports each and every one of us, someone who is compassionate and understanding and determined to see us succeed. Some of my classmates have noted this faculty member's dedication. They are a go-to person for any questions about life after high school. This person has helped each and every member of the senior class, beginning in our junior year, guiding us to see our futures more clearly and work towards our goals. She always either has a nice smile that brightens your day, or the look of that none of us want to see when we didn't finish our supplemental essays. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's faculty speaker, CH-CH Director of College Counseling, Ms. Fink.
Thank you, Dylan. And a huge thank you to the class of 2020 for allowing me to have one last college meeting with you today. Into, through, and beyond. That was the tip I gave you for writing your college essays. Bring us, the reader, into a pivotal moment with you. Don't reveal what it is right away, but build attention so we're intrigued. Then pull back, way back, to the beginning where it all started, that which set you on this journey. Take us through the experience, your struggle or challenge, right up to that moment you teased us with, where we find that it was all worth it. The lesson is learned, the goal accomplished, the epiphany revealed. Finally, take the reader beyond, into the future. How has this changed you and shaped you? Who are you now because of it? What is next? I don't think anyone could have predicted when I sat down with you all in December of 2018 that the next 18 months would present to you the ultimate into, through, and beyond. But it did, and here we are. So because of that, I'd like to start by giving you your own into moments. I got to design one for each of you as I was writing your letters of recommendation. And even though I made you sign away your rights to read them, I'm going to give you a taste. Here are your into moments. Her approach to adversity is to stare it down and then smile because she's in it for the long haul. Haley Bokey. Although of course he always hopes to do as well as possible, he strives for comprehension, synthesis, and revelation in his studies. Zihan Cho. She can be self-depreciating, but does not use her humor as an excuse for why she can't do something, but rather as an example to others to show that they can. Megan Reynes. He engages with ease with both peers and adults and has a genuine curiosity about the world that draws people to him. Shui-Chi David Huang. Her talents and interests encompass a broad spectrum, and each seems to enhance or complement the next. Jessica Ward. He has constantly, consistently impressed his teachers with his sincere intellectual curiosity and respect for the invigorating experience of learning, for the pure joy of learning. Zwehe Harvey Swan. Her intelligence doesn't separate her from her peers. She is accessible and inclusive and works to bring others along with her, sharing her curiosities and interests. Denisa Lata. He's a thoughtful, pensive young man who takes his time before sharing his considerable insight and talent with the world. Simon Weiss. He has worked hard to build the skills needed for a successful experience in college and has proven he knows how to employ them. Dylan Gomes. She doesn't seek attention, but manages to draw it to her with her witty charm and genuine kindness and compassion. Sophie Popiashvili. He is an active community member, thriving in his role as the star shooting guard on the varsity basketball team and giving back in his leadership in his beloved community organization. Cameron Smith. She dove right in when she got here, making friends, but prioritizing her academic work. Ariel Alexis. He is an incredibly empathic young man who is still discovering the depths of his capacity to care for others and how to balance those instincts with caring for himself. Jasper Kahn. His seemingly endless positive energy is paired with wide-eyed enthusiasm, making him a welcome sight, almost like a good luck charm, if you happen to catch a glimpse of him. Samuel Donlin. She's got a clearly defined sense of self, and even in areas where she's confident in her stance, she is always willing and eager to hear differing perspectives for the opportunity to learn and grow. Lauren Murphy. He genuinely cares about others and acts on his caring, even if it has nothing to do with his own self-interest or needs. Yachi Liu. Her tenacity and desire to explore the outdoors, see the world from new perspectives, and be present in that experience stands out in this hyper-connected and constantly plugged-in world. Hannah Goodman. His academic talents encompass a wide spectrum, and his intellectual curiosity continuously expands those limits. Benjamin Grizel. She has worked hard to find a community where she can learn and be supported in her desire to engage across disciplines, take risks, and occasionally voice the unpopular opinion to ensure multiple perspectives are considered. Haley Kyle. He's funny and wry, but empathic and sensitive to others in his engagement with them. Joseph Henry. Her work ethic, curiosity, and skills will allow her not only to achieve her goals, but will inspire and encourage others around her to go for theirs. Sarah Murphy. She is a stabilizing force for her friends and classmates and a calm presence in what can be the turbulent ebbs and flows of day-to-day life in high school. Elena Smith. He knows what he needs to be successful, and he is exceptionally strong self-advocate. Benjamin Rothman. She is a beloved member of our community, bridging the gap between international and domestic students better than most and encouraging others to do the same. Vanita Mint Siriwatanawong. He is a delightful conversationalist and a considerate, forgiving, and patient friend. Benjamin Gold. She's interested in relationships and social dynamics and explores these in her art. Siren Zoe Luo. His natural intelligence and curiosity is met with a superior work ethic and the excellent academic skills and habits of a model student. Aiden Shengun. She is a vivacious, curious, and engaging young woman who somehow simultaneously exudes both confidence and uncertainty. Melody Kay. He makes his interests accessible to others and has a way of infecting you with his curiosity. Jackson Ivy. She is incredibly expressive. The resulting combination of her facial expressions, tone of voice, word choice, and body language is just captivating. Sydney Burke. He is a deep thinker and loves rolling an idea around, examining it from different perspectives, and shifting and manipulating it to see where he can extract information. Zhenqi Harson Liu. She is incredibly talented in both visual and performing arts and uses her skills and creativity as a tool for self-expression and problem solving. Alicia Walker. His wonderfully dry and often self-depreciating sense of humor can serve to downplay his impressive skills, but that is just his humility and desire not to set him apart from his peers, who he cares so deeply about. Runqi Zheng. She is careful not to pass judgment on others, but is focused on learning and understanding different perspectives while finding the connective tissue that binds people together. Nia Williams. He is a quiet leader and inclusive in his efforts to support classmates, teammates, and friends alike. Kyle Vieira. On the volleyball and basketball courts and on the softball field, she is not only a force to be reckoned with, she is an inspiring leader and a strong role model for her teammates. Michaela Murdoch. He's developing the skills and habits he'll need to achieve success in college and is looking forward to taking the lessons he's learned with him as he embarks on this next journey. Henry Lebed. She knows what she likes and what she's interested in and is not concerned with fitting into anyone's stereotype or expectations of who she might be. N. Che. He's finding his groove and learning where conforming to expectations has value and where standing out and standing up is important. Joshua Hofstein. She's a deliberate and thoughtful student, curious about the world around her and determined to find a way to make that world better for everyone who lives in it. Caroline Burke. He's taken his time in high school to put the pieces together himself, determining what he wants his puzzle to shape up to be. Zachary Gardner. She is a wonderful mosaic of a student, made of distinctly different interests and talents, fused together to create a whole picture that is colorful, vibrant, interesting, and engaging from any perspective. Maeve Kidd. That's 42 moments that I had the ultimate pleasure of witnessing. 42 humans who moved through high school, growing and changing in myriad ways. Some of you could not envision a future beyond high school, and some of you saw all the way through generations of your offspring to come. Some of you pivoted again and again at breakneck speed, and some of you were the proverbial duck, still on the surface and pedaling furiously underwater. But all of you, each and every one of you, made it. You wrote essays, you completed group projects, you conducted research, you took tests. You procrastinated and you planned and organized. You fought and made up with your friends and family and teachers and yourselves. You fell in and out of love. You had moments of real fear and moments of chest-swelling pride. You lived, really lived through this year. And now you are facing beyond. What happens next? The beyond was the last part of the essay, but it's the first part of your next journey. Can we really answer that question? What happens next? I think we can try. We can at least move forward, one step at a time, eyes open, present in our lives and in our world. The future is unpredictable. I use that phrasing to describe your college choices, predictable and unpredictable. Where others would call a school a reach, I wanted to give you back the power. It's not about you. You have the skills, the tools, and the proven track record to be successful wherever you choose to go. It was either easy to predict what the outcome would be from your application or not. And when it wasn't, when the college you were applying to was unpredictable, it didn't stop you from applying, from moving forward. It did help you decide how to present yourself, and it shaped your mindset going into the process. The outcome wasn't predetermined, and that is what's happening right now. This is a moment in time, and it will pass, but that doesn't take away the experience of living in it now. We must acknowledge the unprecedented, painful, frustrating, and powerful circumstances we find ourselves in. So please give yourself permission to sit in your feelings, because it's not like any of us have anywhere to go right now. And accept them, all of them. And then, when those feelings are no longer serving you, let them go. It's hard to let things go when you literally can't go, but you can try. You can push beyond. You can pivot again and make choices about what to do with those feelings or that energy, harnessing it and channeling it into something that feels good and does good. In whatever shape and form your future education greets you, I am confident that you can be happy, that you can build a community, that you can define what success means to you and achieve it. I really, really hope you do. And whether that happens right now or on and off for a few years or in the future, we are here for you, cheering for you, believing in you, and supporting you in any way you can. You've got this.
Today, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming this year's student speaker, voted on by the class of 2020, Caroline Burke. Like me, Caroline joined the CH-CH community as a freshman in the fall of 2016. And since then, she has been one of the most hardworking, motivated, and friendly students I've ever met. She is driven to make the world better for everyone who lives in it. Caroline has been deeply involved in the nonprofit Cradles to Crayons, an organization that provides critical essentials to children in need, and is a member of their teen leadership corps. For her 16th birthday, she asked her father for clothing that she could donate to Cradles instead of receiving presents for herself. Caroline has been on the high honor roll every trimester in high school, and she is currently a co-president of our National Honor Society. And she has also been a standout athlete here, participating for 4 years in our volleyball and basketball programs, also adding her talents to our softball, lacrosse, and tennis teams. In addition to receiving many team awards, she was voted a basketball all-league selection this winter. I have seen Caroline play basketball all 4 years, and it has been awesome to see her develop as a player. Caroline has played a key role in the CH-CH community and is valued for her honesty, kindness, determination, and passion for all she does. In the words of Miss Fink, simply put, she's awesome. It's no surprise Caroline was chosen as this year's student speaker. Congratulations, Caroline, and we cannot wait to see all you accomplish in life.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy and spending lots of time with your families. Thank you so much, Dylan, for that kind introduction. I would also like to thank the class of 2020 for choosing me as this year's student speaker. It means a lot to me, and I'm very grateful for this experience and for all of you. I know this ceremony is something we were all looking forward to attending in person, but I hope we can all take a moment to appreciate our accomplishments regardless of the format. We are all moving on and taking bigger steps towards our future together, despite the fact that we are not all physically together right now. And we should not let these past couple months cloud everything we have to be proud of about our time here. Anyways, let's get started. I was on a walk with my mom and my dog in the woods, trying to think of what I wanted to talk about in this speech. I thought about numerous options, but I ultimately decided I should speak about a certain theme that I think applies to every single one of us in the senior class. This is something we've all demonstrated during at least one point in our time here at CH-CH in a variety of ways. This theme is activism. There are a variety of connotations for activism and activists, so I would like to begin by defining the word activist for you all. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines an activist as someone using or supporting strong actions in support of or opposition to one side of a controversial issue. We are the class of 2020, a class that speaks up for what we believe in. Some of us gained that confidence to speak up during our time here at CH-CH, and some of us may have just been born with it. But every single one of us has shown activism in some way, whether you are a one-year senior or a four-year senior. If you were here for freshman year, we all started with English 9, the discovery of self. We all began to think more about who we are, where we came from, and our role in this world. One vivid memory I have from freshman year is about one of our classmates exhibiting their role in this world. It was the day after the 2016 election, where Donald Trump was announced as the president. Tensions were high on campus, but Denisa Lata brought some light on campus by wearing her hijab to show her pride and support for the Muslim community. This is just one example of activism that I witnessed from our class in our early days here at CH-CH. After finding our footing during freshman year, we went into sophomore year with a better idea of ourselves. We started the year off with a trip to Cradles to Crayons, where we all volunteered at different stations, but worked together to provide less fortunate children all around Massachusetts with the clothes, toys, books, etc., that are essential to their well-being. I remember seeing everyone having so much fun and many putting in extra effort to make sure the outfits matched. This made me incredibly happy to see. And by the end of the day, I could tell that everyone was excited to return sometime in the near future. One conversation I specifically remember having after the trip was with Sophie Popiashvili. She had specifically asked me if she and I could go back there sometime to volunteer, and she told me that she genuinely enjoyed the experience and loved the. Later that year, Sophie and I raised over $400 for Cradles to Crayons as a part of their teen leadership corps. This is just another example of one of our classmates demonstrating activism. Junior year is when many of us found our voices and really took control of our education. We all participated in our first Senate simulation, where we learned to argue our points convincingly, whether we personally agreed with them or not. We gained a better understanding of the American dream and argued whether it was achievable or not in an essay, all while having our eyes open to the fact that everyone's dream is different, and that's what makes your dream so unique to you. We had to complete research papers in US history, write our college essays in English class, and find times to meet with Miss Fink to discuss our plans for after high school. We were really doing it all. It was then time to begin senior year, and we took all those valuable lessons we learned junior year, and we put them into action. We spoke up more, but most importantly, we had one another's backs. Whether you attended this or not, earlier this year, members of the class of 2020 gathered a group of teachers and senior students and held a meeting to talk about policy change here at school. We speak honestly and openly when the school asks how they can improve. We formed a club to discuss and advocate for women's and minority rights. Whether you realize it or not, we have all had an impact on one another and on this school. This includes people who speak little and share their feelings and beliefs in other ways, and people who speak every day. We have all had an impact. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, we've heard it all before, but I genuinely mean this. When one person addresses an issue on or off campus, they're speaking up for every single person in their community. You're impacting everyday life at school or within your community for the better when you speak up and stand up. Even if you feel like you are just doing little things, they could end up having a big impact. I want you all to keep this in mind as you're moving on to your next steps in life. And remember this valuable lesson that a lot of people never really understand in their lifetime. We are all going to continue to face instances in our lives where we have to speak up for what we believe is right, whether it benefits others or ourselves. From what the class of 2020 has shown everyone during our time at CH-CH, I can sit here and confidently say that we will all continue doing just that. Activism will get all of us so unbelievably far in life. We are the future, so let's go off to our next adventures, ready to practice these same exact skills that we learned over the years. We are all students who get things done. When our focus is set on a goal, we achieve it. Now, I know this is not the senior spring we were all expecting, and I know this has been very hard to cope with, but look at us, we persevered. We met all the requirements, from spending late nights to complete our 8 to 12-page research capstones and logging enough community service hours, to delivering our senior presentations, all while completing college applications. We did this, and now we're finally here. We pushed through a rough senior spring, but we still managed to get to this point. We will forever be the class that got thrown a major curveball, but still stood up, brushed ourselves off, and kept trudging. This may be the last we see of our high school days, but tomorrow is the first day of our next adventure. A big step in life, and possibly one of the most exciting steps. We are all starting a new chapter once again, so make it count. But never forget who you are, where you came from, and what you went through. Continue being the person you want to be, but also recognize that with any fresh start, you can take this and use it to your advantage. The situation that we are in right now has thrown the doors wide open for people to speak up for themselves and others more than ever. With the uncertainty of everything going on right now, also trying to balance schoolwork and a shift in our learning environment has been a lot to handle. As many of us have struggled through this trimester, we also made sure to speak up for ourselves. Advocating for what we need educationally and for our mental health is extremely crucial right now. And we have taken the time to address our concerns with our teachers and administrators. This shows our dedication to learning and also what we are able to recognize, and also that we are able to recognize what we need when we need it. Then we act on it to make sure those needs are met. A lot of people will just give up and let these hard times take over, but not us. So thank you to the students who took those mental health days that they needed, And thank you to the students who spoke to teachers and administrators here about their needs. Lastly, thank you to the class of 2020 for pushing through and being here today to celebrate each and every one of our accomplishments together. I am so lucky to have spent my high school career with each and every one of you, and I will forever be grateful for the impact you have had on my life. For some of you, we talk every day, and for others, we have not spoken. We have not spoken much, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I cannot wait to see all the different unique journeys that you all will take. Remember, this journey belongs to you, and you are the only one who can achieve the goals you set for yourself. But I have full confidence in all of you that you will be able to do so. Last but not least, never forget that we are the class of 2020, the class that will be remembered for always taking a stand and who paved the way for classes behind us to do the same.
Thank you, Caroline. At this time, I'd like to break for a short musical performance. A collection of students, teachers, and staff, calling themselves the CH-CH Community Chorus, recently joined together to record a virtual performance for this specific ceremony. They are performing the song, "I Will Sing You the Stars." This song is composed by Mark Burrows, who appropriately wrote this song for his own daughter's graduation. Enjoy the CH-CH Community Chorus.
There are
That was quite beautiful. Now for the presentation of awards to those students whose achievement in leadership merits special recognition. These awards fall into 4 primary categories. Junior prizes voted by the full faculty and staff. Certificates of distinction presented by academic department chairs. Departmental and program awards selected by the teaching faculty. And senior awards determined by the full faculty and staff of the school. I will begin by presenting 3 junior awards. Nancy S. Emery Award. Established in 1998 in memory of Nancy Spooner Emery, this award is given to a member of the junior class whose moral character has made a positive difference in the lives of others in the school community. Christian Chemekovich. The next 2 junior class awards acknowledge academic achievement and are awarded in conjunction with distinguished universities. The Rensselaer Medal. Given to a junior who demonstrates potential for success in a challenging academic setting, the Rensselaer Medal is awarded for excellence in advanced mathematics and science, as well as significant participation in extracurricular activities. Aaron Codrington. The Harvard Book Prize. It honors an outstanding student in the rising senior class who combines excellence in scholarship with achievement in other fields. Sydney Dual. In keeping with our appreciation for students' individual talents and interests, and in an effort to challenge our students to engage deeply in their studies, Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall encourages promising students to pursue certificates of distinction in the arts, humanities, and mathematics and science. These certificate programs allow students to individualize their programs of study and to gain breadth and depth of experience as they simultaneously prepare for college and university study. This year, a record 10 members of the class of 2020 have gained said distinction and are hereby honored for their deep academic engagement. To begin, I now introduce Mr. Mike Daniels, Chair of the Mathematics Department, to present this year's Certificates of Distinction in Math and Science.
Thank you, Dr. Conrad. Good morning and good evening, students and families. My name is Mike Daniels, the Math Department Chair here at CH-CH, and I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing 4 students who have earned the Certificate of Distinction in Mathematics and Science. This Certificate of Distinction is designed to give students the opportunity to explore areas of interest within science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Each student begins this journey during their sophomore year and is expected to achieve and grow in each of their STEM courses. Parallel to their coursework, students pursue enrichment opportunities. These enrichment opportunities take on many forms and challenge students to further develop their creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. Some of the collective enrichment each of these students engaged in over the past 3 years includes participation in the Girls Who Code program hosted at Akamai, working with a team to help digitally transform Cambridge Family and Children's Service, participation in Worcester Polytechnic Institute's Frontiers program, participation in NUVU's summer program at MIT, shadowing scientists to learn about physics, fusion energy, and cures for heart disease, interning at a Sarah's STEM summer camp, completion of college math and science courses at Brandeis University, participation in the Penn summer program at the University of Pennsylvania, and an independent study with Harvard professor Howie Lee. This year, the Certificate of Distinction in Mathematics and Science is presented to Caroline Burke, Benjamin Grazel, Arsen Liu, and Aiden Shengun. Congratulations to all.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. I now introduce Dr. Christy Lawrence, Chair of the World Languages Department, to present this year's Certificates of Distinction in Humanities.
Sorry about that, I was on mute. Bonjour, buenos dias, ni hao. I'm Christy Lawrence, Chair of World Languages Department. This morning, I'm particularly excited because we have for the first time 2 certificates of distinction in the humanities to award to the graduating class of 2020. This certificate was designed to recognize outstanding dedication and achievement in humanities and encourage the pursuit of excellence in the humanities outside the 4 walls of the classroom and beyond the high school. In order to qualify for the award, the candidate must earn a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or better in 2 of the 3 humanities disciplines, and then choose an area of specialization. Our 2 candidates are specializing in a world language, one in Spanish, one in Mandarin. For the specialization in a world language, we require 4 years or the equivalent of language study, including the advanced course. The candidate must also engage and work outside the classroom, for example, travel or service opportunities or summer coursework. The candidates we are recognizing today have achieved a high level of proficiency in their chosen language of study and have gained extensive cultural knowledge along the way. First, Denisa Lata receives her certificate with a specialization in Spanish. Denisa has combined a natural aptitude for language learning with her passion for fighting for social justice. She has done an outstanding job using her voice to speak for those without a voice, and has used her language skills to conduct extensive research on reproductive rights in Latin America. During her 4 years at CH-CH, Denisa has made extraordinary progress in language acquisition and will continue to use her language skills and her passion in college as she studies documentary filmmaking at Barnard College. Our second recipient, Panita Siriwatanuwang, achieved her specialization in Mandarin. Mint, as most of us know her, is a high-achieving and dedicated language learner. She has served as a teaching assistant in Mandarin for 2 years. Mint has been spending her summers in Xiamen, China, to improve her language skills and has passed 5 of 6 levels of the HSK, which is the Mandarin language equivalent of the TOEFL. What's next for Mint? She will pursue level 6, the highest level of the HSK, and study in Hangzhou, China at Zhejiang University. An exceptional musician, Mint will be performing during the
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. I now introduce Ms. Jamie Palmer Keating, Chair of the Visual and Performing Arts Department, to present this year's Certificates of Distinction in Art.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Palmer Keating, and I'm Chair of the Visual and Performing Arts Department. And today I'm pleased to present the Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall Certificate of Distinction in Visual Art. To earn this award, these students decided to concentrate their studies in the visual arts and have earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or better in several required and elective visual arts classes. Additionally, their artwork was presented to and evaluated by a review panel of CH-CH faculty and staff. The Certificate of Distinction in Visual Art Award was created to inspire young artists to see, reflect upon, and interpret our world in fresh and challenging ways. It is my belief that the visual arts provide a dynamic and necessary vehicle through which young people can explore their creative identities and help make sense of the world around them. The visual arts play a role in challenging some of the assumptions from which we operate as a society, and in helping us to look at ourselves and others in new and exciting ways. It is my hope that their future creative endeavors might inspire all of us to find new ways of expressing what is in our hearts and minds. It is my sincere pleasure to award the Certificate of Distinction in Visual Art to Jasper Khan, Maeve Kidd, Shiran Zoe Lowe, and Alicia Walker.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer Keating. I ask that you and the publications class now present this year's yearbook dedication.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Jamie Palmer Keating, the publications teacher at CH-CH, and you're looking at my pub's staff. So we have Denisa, who is our editor-in-chief. We have Nia, who is our photo editor. We have Stephanie, Sophia, and Sophia, who are photographers and designers. And these 5 stellar students have put together your yearbook for this year. They have worked tirelessly for hours on end to put together the best version of the yearbook they could to represent your year at CH-CH. Of course, we don't have the book to look at right now, but we will soon, and we're excited to share it with you. In the meantime, we are just about to surprise the yearbook dedicatee for 2020 on a special surprise Zoom. So this person thinks they're having a meeting with myself and one of the students in class, and they're about to join us. We have mailed them their dedication layout, so they'll be able to open it while we actually record them and watch. So we are excited to do this. And I want to thank this group for all of the hard work that they did in putting together this amazing book. And we just can't wait to share it with you. So stand by and watch the dedication unveil. Thank you.
What's happening?
Throughout this person's 7 years at CH-CH, they have made a big impact on a small community. When their colleagues were asked about them, they spoke affectionately about this person, describing them as warm, humble, and hilarious, and a powerful force in the dorm and the classroom. Among the senior class, this person won by a landslide when they were selected as the 2020 yearbook dedicatee, which is a true testament to the type of person they are. Their passion for teaching and for people extends beyond just their students, as it bleeds into every interaction they have with their school's faculty, staff, and students, and even students that they don't teach. In my time at CH-CH, I have witnessed this firsthand as I've worked closely with them as my teacher and advisor, and have great admiration for them. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this honor, and I'm so proud to announce that this year's yearbook dedication goes to Mrs. Christine O'Brien. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Wow.
We wanted to surprise
Thank
you. This is
wow.
the
This
whole
is so
pub
neat.
staff.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you, guys.
Congratulations to Ms. O'Brien. The Senior Departmental Prizes are awarded to seniors for their exceptional work and performance in the academic departments of the school. The English Prize acknowledges a senior who has both demonstrated consistent interest and achieved success in all areas of the subject. Congratulations to Maeve Kidd. The Donald Welch Social Studies Prize was named in 2001 in order to honor Donald Welch, teacher of social studies for 28 years, and is awarded to a senior who has both done excellent work in social studies and demonstrated genuine interest in the field. Join me in congratulating Caroline Burke. The Allen American Studies Prize goes to a senior for outstanding achievement and genuine interest in United States history, government, and politics. This year's recipient, Benjamin Grazel. The Bishens Strachman Economics Prize was established by Andrew A. Bishens, class of '89, and trustee Daniel A. Strachman, also class of '89, and is awarded to the senior who has taken economics most to heart, as evidenced by involvement in class discussion, as well as curiosity about and enthusiasm for current events. Join me in congratulating Denisa Lata. The Farnsworth Mathematics Prize is awarded in the name of Ray D. Farnsworth, head of Chapel Hill School from 1947 to 1961. This prize is awarded to that senior who has completed excellent work in mathematics while consistently demonstrating a deep and genuine interest in the field. This year's winner, Benjamin Grazel. The Kurt Science Prize, named for Franklin T. Kurt, goes to a senior who has not only done excellent work, but has also demonstrated a deep and genuine interest in the field of science. Join me in congratulating Fanita Mint Sarawatanawang. The Lewis C. Clapp Science Prize was established in 2001 in the name of Lewis Clapp, Chauncey Hall, class of 1954, and is awarded to a senior with a keen interest in science who is curious to learn and enjoys being challenged while also demonstrating kindness and concern for others. Pleased to announce Caroline Burke. The Paul Economides Prize is named for Paul Economides, French teacher from 1960 to 1989 and Chair Emeritus of the World Languages Department, and is given to a senior who has demonstrated consistent interest and skill in a world language. This year's prize is awarded to Denisa Lata. The Performing Arts Prize goes to a member of the graduating class whose creativity, artistic ability, and outstanding work in the performing arts merits special recognition. Happy to announce this year's winner, Zenchi Harson Liu. The Visual Arts Prize goes to a member of the graduating class whose creativity, artistic ability, and outstanding work in the visual arts merits special recognition. I'm pleased to announce Alicia Walker. The Jose Rafael Arboleda Sportsmanship and Sportswomanship Awards, established by family and friends in memory of Jose Rafael Arboleda, class of 1978, recognizes two students who have shown the highest degree of citizenship in athletic endeavors. This year, the two prizes are awarded to Caroline Burke and Dylan Gomes. It is now my privilege to present the Senior Awards as voted upon by the entire faculty and staff of Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall. Siri Akal Singh Khalsa Award, given in the name of Dr. Siri Akal Singh Khalsa, head of school at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall from 2002 to 2009. This award is presented to a graduating senior who exemplifies social consciousness, demonstrating outstanding courage, respect, and kindness during his or her development as a valued member of the school and community. Very pleased to announce this year's winner, Hannah Goodman. MIT Prize, awarded to a senior who has realized high academic achievement. This prize recognizes the balancing of a challenging course load and the application of technology in the pursuit of excellence. Join me in congratulating Benjamin Grazel. Faculty prizes. Voted by the faculty, these prizes are awarded to 6 members of the senior class who have been outstanding citizens, contributing significantly to the general well-being and spirit of the school. They are Caroline Burke, Dylan Gomes, Henry Lebed, Mint Sarawatanawang, Elena Smith, and Nia Williams. Congratulations to all 6 of you. School Spirit. This prize recognizes the senior who has consistently demonstrated a positive attitude toward the school. Please join me in congratulating Yachi Aries Liu. Headmaster's Prize. The Headmaster's Prize honors the senior who has shown the most improvement. Very, very pleased to announce this year's winner, Benjamin Gold. And the Worcester Prize, established in memory of Joseph Worcester, who served for many years on the Board of Trustees of Chapel Hill School. This prize is awarded annually to the senior with the high academic record who has consistently displayed leadership, integrity, personal humility, and service to the school. It is a true pleasure to announce this year's winner, Denisa, Lata. At this time, I would like to capture a brief but important moment to recognize fierce loyalty and steady longevity to Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall School. The following colleagues of mine have completed significant 5-year milestones at CH-CH and deserve our collective thanks and appreciation. Bill Gastillo, 40 years. Alice Solero, 35 years. Stephen Christensen, 25 years. Gwen Pajasic, 15 years. At 10 years, we have Ashley Belakonis, Jim Balenka, Denise Gogan, and Jamie Palmer Keating. And completing their first 5 years at CH-CH with many more to come, Maura Henry, Christina Leonelli, and Ian McPhail. I want to thank all of them for their service to the school. I would like to now take a deep breath and present the Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall Society Prize. This award honors a current or former member of the faculty or staff and grants membership in the Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall Society. This award is given to a faculty or staff member in grateful recognition of devoted service and extraordinary dedication to the students and mission of CH-CH. I'm very pleased to announce this year's recipient, my absolute rock and an absolute rock star, Stephanie Daniels. Congratulations, Stephanie. I can't think of a more proud moment I am for all of the work and commitment you've made to our community. As I begin my closing remarks, I take a brief moment to publicly recognize and thank 3 particular seniors who have agreed to serve as class agents for the class of 2020. As soon-to-be graduates of CH-CH and our newest alumni, your role in our community will change, but your connection with our community should not. As alumni, you will carry a different set of responsibilities: to stop by campus whenever you can, to keep in touch with your teachers and fellow classmates as often as you can, to share news of your milestones and accomplishments, to support your alma mater, and to serve as ambassadors for CH-CH wherever your travels may take you. 3 of your classmates have volunteered to remind you of these responsibilities should you ever forget. I ask that this trio be recognized for their ongoing service to the school in the years ahead. Caroline Burke, Aries Liu, and Mint Sarawat-Anawang. Each will work directly with Mr. Rogers, our Director of Alumni Relations in the Annual Fund, to share news from school and keep this class connected to CH-CH for years to come. On behalf of the school, allow me to extend my thanks to all 3 of you in advance for this important and fulfilling work. I also wish to briefly thank the 14 senior members of the National Honor Society for their outstanding leadership, character, and service to our school and the local communities around us. Moreover, I would be remiss to not thank the entire class of 2020 for their incredible contributions in our athletic and art programs over the years. From the many, many league championships to the reimagining of our new visual and performing arts spaces on campus, you have left incredible marks all around. In closing, I recall my own senior legacy quote shared with you yesterday. There are 2 gifts we should give our children. One is roots and the other is wings. Seniors, know that you always have a home at CH-CH, part of your lasting roots, and know that you are ready to soar and practice all that has been taught to you during your time with us. We believe in you, and we have great confidence in the value of this shared education. With that, I'd like to bring to a close the 2020 Baccalaureate Ceremony. Congratulations to all CH-CH students and faculty. In particular, kudos to the class of 2020. We'll reconnect in August for your truly memorable commencement exercises. Good day, everyone, and thank you all for joining us.